Hi, Frank. All right, I'm going to do your 15-minute spiritual healing now. So we're just going to go as guided by spirit. So we'll just see what comes, okay? So there's something beautiful happening here. It is a rose, a red rose that is twirling or spinning. You can see the thorns very clearly, but the rose part is quite alluring to my eyes. There is a face on one side, and then my face on the other, and then two eyes looking at each other, with the rose in the center and noses smelling the rose. It's quite lovely. They're saying two meeting each other eye to eye. See what else? There is an inspiration to pick a petal, and it's soft. And I like how it feels. There is love coming out from deep within. It's sort of streaming out the inside of the stem and then coming out. Sort of love that creates the petals, love that creates the flower to begin with, but then love that creates the fragrance, love that stems out of the flower itself, love that comes and touches noses, touches hearts, touches emotions, touches passion, touches all of that. So I'm just watching here. They're continuing to show the flower. The flower is spinning. The flower spins on its own. The flower is spinning at its own time. I'm seeing two people, man and woman, standing up, and then flower is spinning. They're standing up tall, and then the flower here is in the center spinning. Flower has not come up yet. It's actually, so the flower isn't growing on anything. It's not growing out of the ground. It's actually sort of like snipped from a plant or tree or bush or whatever. And then it's like the kind you'd put in a vase, right? And so it's just levitating here. And so it's just staying there. It's not lifting up as they go up. So I'm just watching it. They too are watching this flower spinning really, really fast. They're wondering if the flower will ever meet them in the middle, or if they will meet in the middle. There's something about this. There's something about the flower. They're waiting for the flower to be at the same position that they were in. They're wanting the flower to be up, meeting them in the middle. Something about that. So as the flower spins, they do things to help keep the flower spinning, keep the flower in motion, keep the excitement or passion alive. Even if the flower is far away, it's not up where they're standing. There's something about the flower's position and their position with each other. This is clearly about love. This is clearly about connection. This is clearly about a very deep intertwining relationship. Sometimes the flower sort of slows its spin a little bit. It's sort of like you could spin a plate and it'll go and then eventually it slows down and it kind of wobbles and makes that noise, you know what I mean? Like it just fell and it's wobbling flat. But this flower never fully stop spinning. It just it might slow a little bit, but it never quite goes the full wobble and then stop. It just keeps spinning. Now this man on the other side, he's picking it up, and then now he holds it in his hand, and then he hands it to the female. She takes it and then smells it and likes it. So they're showing an image of love bringing them closer together to the point where they could hand each other gifts. One hand handing it into another hand even. Is in connection or bond and closeness. Two bodies being close. It's really beautiful. It's really nice. So let's see what else happened. The female is taking her finger and she looks into his eyes and then touches his heart with her hand. They don't kiss each other. There's just this interaction. The energy of love is extremely strong. It is really powerful. There's an angel here. It is on his right shoulder. That's all I can say about that right now. I'm just examining the energy of love. I'm examining the feelings that these two are sharing. I'm trying to make more detail of the angel, although it's sort of like a church angel. It's not particularly big. It's more statuesque. It's not really coming from light, but it's definitely there. And it sort of has, it's in a position of outstretched arms or bearing gifts, is the way that they're describing it, or its meaning to me. But there's something ragged about it as well. Sometimes it's sort of, I don't know, it's like its hair isn't brushed. They're showing that it can take on the form of what is a human being with wings, but this human being kind of looks, I mean, it's just, it's like a miniature human being with wings is basically what it is. The hair just looks really not brushed and maybe not washed in a while either, but it's not particularly greasy. It's just extremely ratty. It just snarly and not brushed. It just looks like the angels kind of remind me of I don't know, like a peasant woman or something. Not very clean either. And nothing is preventing their eyes from meeting each other's eyes. Meeting eye to eye. She's still holding a rose. Her hand still is touching his heart. They're still meeting each other eye to eye. And whatever this is symbolic of is not capturing their attention. They do not waver from each other's eyes. They are moving closer and closer together. She finds him to be the rose, and she's no need for a rose for herself to hold, because he then is the rose that she chooses to hold. The love in this experience is really amazing. It's really tender and meaningful and bonded. It's a surreal experience. It's emotional too. I mean, she's emotional as she's crying in joy, is what it is. There's sort of like I don't know how to describe it. They're really slow in motion. It's not as if he's instantly sweeping her off her feet or she's instantly, it's very slow. It's very, very slow. Two people coming together as one very, very, very slowly. And when they actually come together as one, it is like the most meaningful embrace anyone could fathom having. And neither lets go of the other. Neither does. There is an inspiration for lovemaking. It's all very beautiful. It's all very real. It's very genuine. This is what Spirit is sharing with me for your healing wisdom. You needed this. Some part of you needs this. So there's a very gentle, he is gently caressing her cheek. And his eyes are extremely, they know how to look with honesty, how to share love from the heart that comes through the eyes and says that I'm real. I'm not just hot for you, or you're a girl and I'm a guy, let's hook up. It's not that. It's actually very real. And she sees that too in his eyes. And she knows that she can trust him. It's almost the most perfect reflection of true love I've ever come across. It's very real. See what else? They're showing me an image of you, and there's something about a breeze. It's kind of cold, and I don't know, it's as if you're standing against a railing. You're just sort of waiting. You seem to be looking younger and younger and younger. Your gestures are, you're happy. I mean, you're happy. You're actually moving your arms slightly and trying to get somebody's attention. Just watching. So it's sort of like you're on a boat. You're really happy. You're leaning against a railing. You're happy. I mean, how much happier can somebody be? Like, you are so happy. And then there's some girl that walks by, and it's not as if you know each other, though. And so you're trying to get her attention, but she just walks by, and you're like, you don't seem to care. You're just so happy. I'm not sure what the meaning is. I'm just examining it some more. You have a gift for somebody. You're trying to show this girl that walks by something that you see. It's like a lighthouse is the best way I can describe it. This woman it's sort of like what you see is, you see it captivates you, it captures your attention, but she just like doesn't have time for it. I'm not sure why you're trying to get her attention, but you are. You really want her to see what you see. But yet you're holding a rose in your hand. It's a white. It sort of looks like more like a tulip, this one. Because the petals aren't opened out, but maybe it's the petals haven't opened up, It's more closed. But the color is white. You're holding in your hand. It's as if you have to give to somebody. I got the impression you were going to give it to her, but you're not. You're still quite happy. And you still have your eyes on the lighthouse. It's the best I could describe it. It really feels like you're on a big boat and it's colder. You're still waiting, you're still waiting, you're still waiting. And you're quite happy, but the happiness is starting to get thinner and thinner. And you're still talking to the female, and it's sort of strange. It's sort of as if, so you're standing against the railing, right? You're like, happy days, you know, like, yeah. And then she sort of, a female just walks by, and you sort of like grab her shoulder, you sort of touch her, and she looks back at you, and I got the impression she was who you were looking for, but she seems to be in a hurry or somewhere to go. You're still talking to her, you're still trying to talk to her, and you're sharing this sort of about a lighthouse, and she's kind of arguing, not seeing it your way. And you still seem to be waiting, though, for somebody. I thought it was her, but there's somebody else. And as you're still talking to this female, you're getting more and more aggravated, and this sort of excitement is starting to get thinner and thinner, lesser and lesser. You can't say that you haven't been... It's kind of like, you can't say you haven't had a happy life, no matter what has come into it, or what has captured your attention, or what may have not been a perfect balance, or whatever else. They're showing that you can't say that you haven't had a happy life. And that happiness isn't still on the horizon. They're just showing that you are still satisfied. You're not as happy as you were from the get-go, but you're not unhappy either. They're showing this female starts to disappear on her own time. And you knew it would... You seemed to know that it was okay for your attention to be on the lighthouse and just focused on what you were seeing in the first place. That really captivated you. And it's your inspiration to keep communicating with her isn't there. And you're okay just leaning against the railing and looking at the lighthouse and looking at your flower and just wondering if you should keep waiting or not. Some part of you wants to throw the flower away, but you still hold on to it, and you hold hope, is what they call it, holding hope. They ask if you think that she will come to you. Nobody's coming, and nobody's coming. And it's still just you, and there is nobody here. But they say she is here. She is always there to begin with, looking back at you. They show me a mirage of her with you here, and she thinks that your flower is beautiful. She's whispering something in your ear. She is giving you a kiss on the cheek, looking into your eye. Some part of you knows that she's there, but yet you can't see her. She's not there in the way the other girl was there. She's there as a mirage or invisible person. And she helps you to hold on to this flower with more strength and not to give up on it. So that's all. That's all that I can share for now. That was really interesting. It was really moving. Thank you for that experience. I'll be curious to know what that means to you or how this has impacted your life. Thank you for exploring this with me and your willingness to share this openly on YouTube as well. And for those of you watching, if you're interested in spiritual healing or a psychic reading with me, please visit my website at abbynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you for watching.